Over time, your computer's hard drive or SSD can become cluttered with unwanted files, programs, and data, causing your computer to slow down and potentially even crash. You see, when a computer is running low on disk space, it's like a cluttered room. Just as a room can become difficult to navigate when it's cluttered, a computer can become slow and difficult to use. It's also somewhat like a bloated stomach. Just as overeating can cause digestive problems and make you feel sluggish, low disk space on your computer can cause performance issues and make it feel slow to respond. In this video, I'll be showing you how to clean up your computer and free up massive amounts of disk space, which will also improve the performance of your PC, and the methods I show in this video works on both Windows 10 and 11. I have divided the video into 3 sections. In the first section, we will be using the built-in tools that come with Windows to perform disk cleanups and optimize drives. In the second section, we will be using free software to clear temp files and uninstall unwanted software and games. And in the third and final section, we will be using free software to move or delete large files. Here, I'll also be sharing a method you might never have heard of before that can really save you a lot of disk space on the C drive specifically. And if you're someone that regularly reinstalls Windows on your computer, you'll love this. I have to warn you though, skipping any part of this video will be the reason you're not saving the most amount of disk space, and in turn leave you with a slow and unoptimized computer. So be sure to follow along until the end. But before we get into that, if you want to discover new ways to optimize your PC or discover free software you might not have known about, you need to hit the subscribe button right now. I upload new videos at least once a week covering those topics, and if you don't want to miss out, you need to make sure that you're subscribed. It's extremely important that you make a backup of your most important files and folders before starting this process. Any data you lose on your computer is not my responsibility, and you need to pay attention when you're deleting files from your computer. You should take note of the amount of disk space that's being used before you start this process, so you can leave a comment to let me know how much disk space you were able to free up. Open this PC on your computer and then right-click on Local Disk C and click on Properties. Next, click on Disk Cleanup. You can read through the different selections here and select what you want to remove, but I'll be selecting everything. Next, click on Clean Up System Files, and here you will see a similar screen as before. You'll see a Windows Update Cleanup on this list, and if you recently upgraded from Windows 10 to 11 and might want to go back to Windows 10, deselect this checkbox. Just as on the screen before, I'll be selecting everything and then I'll click on OK. After that, I'll click on Delete Files to start the process and then wait for it to finish. When it's done, go to the Tools tab and then Optimize. Here you should check that the scheduled optimization is on. It should be on by default and set to weekly, but you can change this in the settings if you want. Next, select each drive and click on Optimize. Once that's done, you can also check the drives for errors, which will help you determine if a drive might need to be replaced. You also have the option of compressing a drive to save disk space, although I don't recommend doing this on the C drive. Lastly, go to your search bar and type in Storage Sense, and then hit Enter. Once here, switch on Storage Sense and then click on Configure Storage Sense or Run it now. Here you will find some settings you can read through and then change according to your preference. When you're done, click on Clean Now and then close this window. Head to the Hybrid Uninstaller website and download the portable version. I've left the link in the description. Once opened, click on the Tools menu and then select the Junk Files Cleaner. Here you can select what you want this tool to clean from your computer. The most common options being temp files and old prefetch data. I'll be selecting all the available areas to clean. Next, click on Clean to start the process. You may be prompted to close programs that are currently running on your system. Next, click on the Advanced Cleaner section. Select the drives you want to clean up and click on Scan. Once it's done, click on Clean. Next, head to the Tools menu again and select the Windows Store Apps Manager. Here we can uninstall apps that come with Windows that we don't use. We can select what we want to uninstall and it'll display the amount of disk space that the selected apps are using at the bottom of the window. When you're ready, click on Uninstall Selected. I recommend selecting the option to create a restore point. Next, click on Start, and once it's done, make sure this box is checked and then click on Scan to scan and remove any leftover files and folders. Lastly, we can use Hybrid to uninstall software and games from our system. At the top, click on Size. This will sort it by the amount of disk space the programs are consuming, so you can easily see the largest programs first. Go through this list and uninstall the software or games you don't need anymore by right-clicking on the item and then clicking on Force Removal. Next, select these two checkboxes and then click on Scan. Once it's done, click on Finish to remove any leftover files and folders. Head to the Wistry website and download the portable version. I've left the link in the description. Open Wistry and then click on Scan. This will scan the entire disk in a matter of seconds and display the largest files first. From here, click on the plus icon to expand the folders to see exactly where the largest files are located. The largest files you find here will be different to what I find, but once these files are located, you'll need to decide what you want to do with them. If these files are important, but you don't need them to be saved on this drive anymore, move them to another drive which has more space or backup them to an external drive or USB flash drive. If they're not important and you want to delete them, you can do so by right-clicking on the file or folder and then clicking on Delete. This will send the file or folder to the recycle bin in most cases. So to avoid that, you can permanently delete the files or folders by holding down the left Shift button on your keyboard and then clicking on Delete. If you have multiple drives, you can select the other drives as well, scan them, and then follow the same process. This method alone should help you greatly in identifying large files that you can move or delete to free up some disk space. Finally, I want to share a method that you might not have known about that can save you a lot of disk space on the C drive specifically. This method requires your computer to have another drive installed with enough free disk space to save all the files that will be copied to it. Let me explain how this works. By default, all the important user files of a user, such as the documents, pictures, music, videos, and so on, are stored on the drive where Windows is installed, otherwise known as the C drive. We will be moving these files to another drive, but pointing Windows to the created directory, so you'll still be able to access these folders when clicking on the quick access shortcuts. To do this, go to the disk where you want to save these files and create a new folder. I'll rename mine to User Files and then pin it to Quick Access. This will make the process much easier later on. Next, create the following folders in the User Files directory. When that's done, navigate to the C drive, then Users, and then to the user directory that you're using. Before we move on, it's important to note that if you have files saved in these locations and are using programs that rely on the drive letter to access certain files, you'll have to point those programs to the new directory for them to continue working properly. Now, let me show you how to do this with the first folder, which is the desktop folder. Right-click on the folder and then click on Properties. Next, click on the Location tab and then on Move. A dialog box will open. Click on the User Files folder, which you pinned to the Quick Access earlier, and then select the desktop folder. Click Yes on any prompts and allow any changes. If done correctly, the desktop folder should now be gone from the user directory on the C drive, and the desktop folder you created on the other disk will contain all the files. You'll see that the quick access link for desktop in Windows still works, as it's pointed to the directory we created on the other drive. Repeat the same process for all the other folders we created. Once finished, we can unpin the user files folder from quick access and then use the computer as before, but with more free space on the C drive. In the end, I managed to free up more than 50 gigabytes of disk space, and my PC is also more responsive. How much disk space did you manage to free up? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to leave a like on the video if it helped you out. Also, if you're interested in discovering the best way to protect your PC from viruses and malware for free, be sure to click on the video that's on screen now. I'll see you there.